Hey guys, Welsknight here, and welcome back to another episode of All the Mods 7. Hope you guys are having an awesome day. I'm having a fantastic day. Today, I think I want to make a room for our Infusion altar from Mystical Agriculture. I mean, I don't technically need one. I could just plop this thing down whenever I actually need to use it and stuff. But look, it's Minecraft, so I feel like we should build a room that is specifically for infusing this and making new seeds. And since this is pretty much always going to be used, like, manually, it's not going to be like an automatic thing, I think over here is a perfect place to put it. This is like the second basement level of our base. Over here is the chicken farm. Over here is our sort of workshop room. And the reason that this is a good spot for it is because right here, we are outside of an area that will always be chunk loaded. So this should work. And you'll notice if I put this thing right in the middle of the room, I've already kind of dug out an area that I think is the perfect size. So today is going to be kind of a little bit more of a buildy episode. And I think the first thing I want to do is just start by running some cables over here. Now, the walls... This right here is going to be a wall. So I've already sort of dug out where the walls are going to go. And we're running this cable because obviously we want to have access to our crafting grid when we're in this room. I think that's probably a pretty good idea. So now I've got two options. We could just have it on this level here. Or we could think about lowering the whole thing down, but, that might be okay? I mean, no matter what, we're definitely going to want to be changing out the floor. We're not going to want to use this sort of like andesite whatever type floor. So let's just dig this out real quick. And let me throw a couple torches, just so we can sort of light this up. So, couple ideas. If we lowered this down, we'd have to probably put... We'd want slabs around it, probably, so we would end up basically with something like this. And those would all be slabs. And I feel like that is not really going to be a good look. Just because I think it would look good if the room was bigger, but the room isn't really bigger, and because of the location of our workshop room, we can't really make it much bigger than this. So I think let's put it on the level that I have it right now. So let's finish digging out a floor here. And we'll just go... about there. Let's turn on our magnet as well, just to make things a little easier to pick up. And there we go. We have a space dug out for the floor. Just throw a torch here so you can see, because I do want you guys to actually be able to see what's going on in this room. Okay, so we've got our floor dug out. Now the question is, what floor material do we want to use? And I kind of like the idea of going with, like, I mean, this sort of yellow, this like golden red color scheme, I think is pretty cool. So I kind of want to do something that highlights that and works well with it. Let's just take a look here at Darkstone. Do I have any arcane polished Darkstone? No, I've got this arcane gilded Darkstone, and I've got like a fair amount of it. But I don't think I can actually do anything with this. Like, what I really want is, how do I make arcane gold ingots? I need dust stuff, arcane crystal dust. Using arcane crystal dust specs. Oh, okay, here we go. So, arcane crystals, you melt those down. Okay, that we can do, right? Because I should have at least a handful of these. Pretty sure. Arcane, yeah, we got tons of those, so that part's not a problem. Okay, what about the Mundabitter dust? Okay, that all looks pretty doable except for phantom membranes, which I don't have any of at the moment, I don't think. No, we actually do have some of those as well. Okay, cool. So yeah, we can totally make some of these. I don't need a ton. Oh, and this makes 8 as well. Because what I want to do, I think, is take this arcane polished darkstone, just because it's got this really nice like red border, this nice like gold border on it, and put it around each of the pedestals. I think that'll look really good. So let me get some of that stuff crafted up. Let's grab arcane, and let's just grab some of these, and I'll just toss a bunch of them into here. That should be fine. Like, that way they'll end up back in our system. We'll just let those smelt up and kind of do their thing. Okay, so going back to all of this, we said we need one of these guys. So let's throw some of those in. And this we've already got, so we should be able to make like 2 of these ingots. Oh, and I need to make polished darkstone. And there we go. We'll just make 16 of these. That should be a pretty good start, I think. And we will put those underneath where each of these things will be. And I think this will end up looking really nice. So we go something like that, and then we can grab our infusion pedestals and just put those right on top. Like so. There we go. So that way those will just kind of stand out a little bit more, which I think is good. We don't need to put one underneath this. I'm also not sure. I wonder if this is a transparent block. Easy way to find out. Let's just grab some glowstone. Put a glowstone right there, and then we'll just go... No. Looks like it is definitely not a transparent... The altar is not a transparent block, it looks like. Okay, fair enough. That's fine. Just thought I would at least check and see. Okay, so now... we want more darkstone for sure. So let's make a couple stacks of this polished darkstone, which I think will end up looking pretty good. And we'll just take... do you want to do maybe like a checkerboard? Let's see how this looks. Oh. Let's just do maybe like half the room to start with. Because it'll, if we use the polished darkstone, I think it'll help the actual pedestals pop a little bit. And then maybe what we can do is use just like regular darkstone. So it would be something like this, where there is a texture difference, but it's still pretty subtle. Like, I think that looks pretty good. What do we think? Yeah. Yeah, I think I like that. Okay, so let's just make sure that we have all of that in, and I'll get the rest of the floor done here. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. Obviously, it will look better once we have the walls and ceiling in place, but I like the look of this, and I really like the way that the arcane polished darkstone kind of pops out and makes these, you know, look really nice. So now we got to figure out what we want to do for the walls, and there's a lot of potential ways we could go with this. Let me look through JEI for a while and see if I can find some blocks that suit my fancy. Okay, I think I'm liking this. This is soapstone bricks, and soapstone is just a extra modded stone that sort of generates in the world. So we can create some of these. You make polished soapstone, and then it's just the same recipe. Oh, that's tile. It's just the same recipe to turn it into bricks instead. So this should work pretty well. And then let's, we probably don't need our sword for the moment. We can just builder's wand to speed up this process. I really genuinely wish that there was some sort of like builder's wand thing in vanilla. I know it's very much like a modded-esque feature, but man, it would make building in vanilla just so much easier when you're building very large things. Okay. So something like that. I'm just going to put a couple of temporary torches here. Okay. So now we've got this going, but this is very dark. And I want to do something about that next. So I think we need some highlights. This is a very black room right now. So let's see what we have. What about gold? If I use gold blocks, we've got arcane gold. Are there any, like... Doesn't really look like we have a whole lot of variations as far as gold style things. So what about like logs? Do we have any logs that have kind of like a goldish tint to them? We've got redwood logs. It's not gold, but it would sort of match the red a little bit. I mean, we could go back to the... What was it called? Was it? It was like... There was the thing. It was like from Ars whatever, right? Wasn't there like a special... We used it for the library room. Did we not? Archwood. Yeah. Didn't we have... Wasn't there like a red archwood log? What did we use up here for these? Here we go. Blazing archwood log. That's what it was called. Okay, do we have any more of those? No, it looks like we used them all. Do we have any blazing archwood saplings? No. Do we have any archwood of any kind? No. Okay, so much for that. Although this is more black with like reddish highlights. I'm really looking for like red and gold to sort of match the pedestals and the altar itself. So let me see what I can find. You know, surprisingly, I think it might actually be netherrack. That might be the solution here. So, using the mason's table, there's like alternative netherrack blocks, and we can make kind of this pretty nifty sort of like pillar design. Although, I'm pretty sure... Okay, it actually doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how you place them as long as you place them. Okay, fine. But something like that gives us this kind of nice sort of like pillar look, which I think is pretty cool. I do like it. I'm questioning, though, if I want to bring the ceiling up higher. I don't think I do. I think I'm happy with it where it is. So let's put this into each of the corners. And the reason that I like the netherrack here is because it's definitely red, but it's not like too red. Like I was looking as well at red nether brick, and it was like the red was too vibrant. It was too like saturated. And it just didn't look very good. So something like this, I think, could work pretty well. And then maybe... It's kind of an odd shape for the room. Like, part of me wants to put a pillar right in the middle of each of these. So it'd be something like this. You'd have 3 on either side. But the problem with that is then it would block this crafting grid. Although I could move the crafting grid, but then it's not going to be able to be placed symmetrically. So let's scrap that idea and just stick with the nether brick pillars in the corners, I think. So then we got to sort out what we want to do for a ceiling in here. So after some thinking, I really think the best option is probably just going to be darkstone again, because it does come with stairs, and it does come without them as well. So, I mean, exactly what I want, not necessarily, but I think it will get the job done. The real interesting part about the ceiling, I think, is going to be how we make it look good. So first things first, we're going to need darkstone and darkstone stairs. And I think we want to start right about here and do something like that. And then we're going to want to bring this out like so. So these pillars will kind of go, I want to have like sort of a dome ceiling. So there we go. And darkstone. That should end up giving us a pretty good look that still makes the pillars look, you know, like they have a purpose. But then also just makes the ceiling kind of pop out a little bit more. And then we can also use this, use the way the ceiling is shaped for our lighting as well, which I think will end up being pretty good. So let's see. Here, 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 here. There we go. And then it's just a matter of bringing the stairs back around to kind of match it, like so. Okay, so something like that should be good. Now, for the part up here, obviously we want dark stone, not regular stone and random ores and things, because that will not look as good. Like you don't want to go with this like black and red color theme and then have random splotches of gray in your ceiling. But the question is, do we leave it like this? I think I want to actually go more. These things are very much getting in the way right now. You know what? Let's fly. That'll probably be a little easier. There we go. So, boop, 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 boop. There we go. Okay. So that looks pretty good. And then here, we just put in the stairs as well. One of these things is not like the other. Yeah, something got messed up here. Okay, so is it 1, 2, 3? No. This is the problem, is when when things get messed up, then you're like, oh no, what do I do now? Stair. Okay, so I think what happened is we needed full blocks here and here. There we go. Now it looks right. Okay. So now we can get these stairs in. And the slope, or the angle, or the shape of the circle or whatever, should pretty much match what we have on the ground. like so. Obviously, this isn't looking as good right this second, but that is because we have not yet... Oh, come on. There. And then we change you going that way. There we go. So this is what we'll end up with once it is all said and done. What do I think of that? I mean, it all blends together so much you can barely see it. Can't say I'm a huge fan. Let me rework this a little bit. Okay, I think I've finally got the ceiling figured out in such a way that I actually like it. I think I'm happy with it. So here is what I ended up doing. I decided to go with cut deep slate instead. I think the darkstone was just a bit too busy. And I did kind of this, I reworked the sort of circular dome-shaped design. So there's still a change of elevation in the ceiling, but it's a bit more subtle, and it's not so bulky in the corners, which I think didn't look very good at all. So this is kind of what we're going with. Now, this room should be functional, just like this, but we need a button. We need a way to activate this guy right here. So I think the easiest way to do that is probably to go... I mean, we could just grab a button and just throw it down like right here. But I think what I would prefer to do is use wireless redstone, which redstone receiver. There we go. We need one of those. And then we will also need a redstone transmitter. Okay. So, if we pop this guy right here, turn off the hover, there we go. We should be able to go with the receiver, grab our wrench, and there we go. It is now facing the correct way. Oh, too many blocks. I destroyed too many. And then we take our transmitter, like so. We put... actually, don't I need to sync these? I seem to remember that I have to, like... There we go. I was going to say, I had to, like... click one or something like that. I forget exactly how it worked. Okay, that is now facing the proper direction. So now it should just be a... Oh, wrong block. Dark stone, polished. Okay, there we go. And I want that block back, please. Put you here. There we go. Okay. So now, if I put a button here, and I hit this, this thing should get power. So let's test this. Let's just try and make some sort of seed. It doesn't really matter what kind. Let's just try dirt seeds. Sure. Take this, take you... and a prosperity seed base. There we go. So put you here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now, if I hit this, it looks like the redstone is working properly, and that will get us our dirt seed. So there we go. Working flawlessly. Now, I do want to have a little bit more lighting in here. I think it is very dark, which, to be fair, is, you know, kind of like moody. But do we have some sort of like a brazier? Incense brazier. Will this thing actually, like, light? Like if I take a flint and steel, I know I've got one somewhere. Or do I need to actually burn like incense in this? Can I just light this as just like a decorative thing? Doesn't look like it. Okay. What about ritual? Source gem block. That looks complicated. This looks doable, maybe. Nope. Okay, so we don't have anything like that. I was really hoping there'd be some sort of like decorative like lantern brazier type thing. But it doesn't look like we have anything. Let me see what else I can find in here. Okay, well this isn't perfect, but it might work. This might actually be totally fine. We've got these street lamp posts from, what is this? Macaw's Lights and Lamps? I suppose I should actually just look at that mod in general and just see. So we've got a black ceiling light, street lamps, garden light. Doesn't look like there's any sort. We got tiki torches. Those are kind of what I'm looking for. But let's try these out. How tall are these? Not very. So if we put these on top of either one of these, or what do we got for fences? I could use like ebony fences. I really feel like I should be using some sort of like gray fence. Steel, that might work. Acacia log fence. What about the steel fence? No. Picket fence. Archwood fence. I don't have any archwood for some reason. I still don't know why, but whatever. Scorched bricks. Just trying to find something that matches. I guess I don't have any acacia logs? Seriously? Okay. What wood do I have? That's wool. What about logs? Okay, we do have some willow. We do also have some ebony. So let's just make a few of each of these different things. And we'll make a couple of willow fences and a couple of ebony fences. Just a few. I want to try a few different options here and see which one I like the best. So, option number 1, we'd have something like this. I think this is too fat. That is not great from a color perspective. And willow? That kind of works. That's probably my favorite of the ones here. Although I'm still not super happy with it. Like, what do I think of that? I don't know. I honestly think I like it better. I like it better the other way. Just with the moodier lighting that sort of highlights this bit here in the center. Like, it's darker. It's obviously darker, but we shouldn't have anything spawning in here. Like, it shouldn't be dark enough that things can spawn, because we do have a one of those like super torches around here somewhere. Speaking of which, I should probably make another one of those just to be safe. One of those like really, here we go, a fat mega torch. And we can actually, boop. That'll take care of that. Okay, nothing will spawn in here. We've got moody lighting. You know what? I think I'm happy with this. It's not perfect. It's not the best thing I've ever built, but I think it's good enough. And it certainly looks better than just taking these things and plopping them down in the middle of a random room. At least this way, it kind of looks, like this has a purpose. So we could also do some more things with the walls, bookshelves, stuff like that. But I think I'm happy with this as it is right now. So guys, I think I'm going to go ahead and call the episode there. If you enjoyed the video, you know what to do. Links in the description below, so check that out as well. Otherwise, my friends, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.